This is Garrett Fry, the Shipyard Sequence Lead for 3D Digital Map Painting, and we're taking a look at shot 75. So let's go ahead and play that. We start out on the left and end here on the right. So for this shot, a lot of beautiful things are going on with the way that the light is raking across these shipping containers, but we do need to have more depth in this shot. And so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to cut out a couple of these rows. And so for the very least, we're going to have to cut out these two here and then see if you can get more depth. I suspect it's not going to be enough, and maybe we need to end this row a little bit so that we can see out and it becomes a bit more of a zigzag. This right here is kind of the main area where the rigs move, where they're moving the shipping containers. And so we can be just a bit disorderly in here. So if you chop this off right here and then expose a deeper view because you've chopped this off right here, then we're keeping these two rows and they look great the way they are because the light's hitting them and they're really beautiful and stuff. And then we're opening up this area. And so this area right here, you can have the freedom to not be on the same grid as the rest of the shipping containers. They can be just a bit off, or maybe it's a kind of a stair stacking kind of thing, so that we just see a little bit of this row, but then immediately behind it we have some more rows back here. So do a bunch of different options for yourself so that you can review them and then pick the very best one. So if you too hastily get into a layout that is a bad layout, then you will try to make it right through painting and lighting and all that kind of stuff, but it just won't be right if the layout is not right. If it doesn't look nicely designed, then it's going to make the whole shot kind of suffer. So spend the time on the front end and make sure you have a good layout of all your different elements. And then when you do and you commit to that and you're moving forward on it, just make sure you're keeping the beautiful lighting that's in this shot, this kind of late afternoon lighting where it's kind of raking across, and the lighting direction is coming in from this way. So if the light is coming down and you've cut out the back end of this row right here, then you can have these interesting shadow shapes happening onto things. And so that would be really interesting back there to do as well. In addition to this area right here, we need to just add just a little bit of a row up here, and maybe it's 1, 2 deep this way, and then we put another one up here, and then we can have this light maybe like rim light some of this stuff, so we're seeing a bit of this light that's hitting these. Check the lighting to see how much of the light you'd see, and maybe just cheat it just a little bit, so these are just getting a little bit of rim light, so we have more of an extreme foreground thing, because this wall of shipping containers is just a bit boring. So it would be popping out from this surface with shipping containers and then adding some like kicks on that kind of stuff, because if these were in shadow, it would be very boring. So try to figure out a way to get light onto these things coming out from this face and getting light on it, and that would make this shot look really fantastic. Before you jump into these shots, it's a good idea to familiarize yourself with the resources you have available to you. Decide if you're going to use an environment TD, a matte painting, or a matte painting generalist approach. There are 3 sets of shipping container photos and a bunch of images for texturing. Also, make sure you take advantage of the high-resolution shipping container assets with 3 different level of detail models.